Welcome to the Options Millionaire community. I am Andrew. We are going to be continuing our conversation about my trading system called the 3 criteria. If you haven't seen the initial summary video of the system, this is a thumbnail you'll be looking for. I'll put the link in the description of the video. Go take a look at that one before you watch this one. I'm going to be releasing a 3-part series breaking down each of the 3 criteria of my 3C system, the first of which is volume, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Volume is the most important part of my system. Out of all the 3 criteria, this is the most important one. Without volume, I have nothing. I have no confidence. I have no ability to read what the market desires to do. Volume is the number one thing that they cannot hide from us. It shows intention, it shows aggression, it shows volatility, it shows a lack of volatility. Volume shows you the strength of a move or a weakness of a move. It's everything in the system, and I want to take this time in the video to show you exactly how I apply it, what's going through my head, what are some things that may or may not be obvious, or maybe something a little bit more nuanced with experience that I can help you drive an edge. The number one thing to be aware of with my system is that I do nothing without the presence of volume. Now, to back up for a second, all of my concepts, all of my thought processes, my entire system is based on this book, The Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Coling. This book goes over everything from the inception of price action and volume way back in the day, all the way into conceptual processes of applying price action analysis and volume. Highly encourage you to go take a look at this book and pick yourself up a copy. So let's start getting into the charts here. Volume analysis can be applied on any single time frame. A lot of people ask me what is my favorite time frame to trade on, and really my answer is it depends. Am I swing trading? If I am, I'm looking for the daily chart, the 4-hour chart, hourly chart to kind of get myself a good blending of long-term analysis. If I'm looking for short-term swing trades, a day or two, maybe 3 or 4 days worth of trading, then I'll come all the way down into the 30-minute and 15-minute chart. Anything below the 15-minute chart is really reserved for day traders and scalpers. So what is it that I'm looking for with volume? Outlier spikes in volume. When the price action is trending one way or another, a great indication that we're getting ready to reverse to the other side is a strong inflow of volume, especially when it's associated with wicks at certain levels. If you go through and note strong reversals in price action that are accompanied by a strong wick, whether it be a buyer's bottom wick or a seller's top wick, you'll notice that all price action is associated with a high volume spike. Here's another example. Strong bottom wick, strong inflow of volume, and a reversal back up to the upside. Now, the reason why this works is because price action has a lot of momentum. You're talking about billions of dollars running the price action, especially on an indice like NASDAQ or ES. And there's so many transactions, there's so much money backing these moves that the momentum takes a lot to slow down to be reversed. So normally, as the price action is dropping, you're looking for spikes in volume to the downside to slow the train that I call it. I picture in my head a freight train barreling down the tracks. In order to get this freight train to turn around and go back the other direction, you have to start slowing that train down. And you do so through the process volume analysis. As I see volume start to come in, you see a small uptick in volume and it gradually gets bigger until it has a crescendo of volume right here at 10:05 with an associated bottom wick. So this tells me that as the volume comes in, freight train starts to slow down, you start to see the bottom wicks come, and then all of a sudden you get the strong hammer candle with the largest amount of volume on the tape. And that notes the exact bottom here at 25,640. And then from there, the price action climbs higher. Now there's other confirmation processes in here, which culminates my second C and third C part of the system. But right now we're just focusing on volume. But the way I think about a trader and the way the trader should present himself to the markets is that you have to have a process in which you filter your quantity and your quality of trades. What mechanism do you have to analyze high quality entries? There's not really that many high quality entries every day. So I like to narrow down my trades to 2, maybe 3 trades a day, maybe more if I'm trading multiple names. But normally I like to take 2 to 3 trades a day, high quality setups. And if I don't even see the high quality setups, I'm not taking anything. But my mechanism in order to narrow down those 2 to 3 trades a day is monitoring the high volume flows. If I do not have these volume spikes down here, then I am not taking a trade. It's as simple as that. I don't like trading low volume activity because it's easily whipsawed, it's highly erratic, and most likely you're going to get a very poor entry. Here's a silver trade that I took that had a large thrust higher, immediately followed by volume, and then a large aggressive price down that we happened to have shorted. Now there's a couple of things to go over here. Is that one is the volume part, obviously that's the title of this video, and we saw a volume spike come in. In fact, now there is a nuance to this in experience, and looking at a chart like this that has this kind of consolidation style price action where things are tightening, you see the price action just gets very tight, winding up, every candle's reversed, very boring. All of a sudden, we have this huge explosion of breakout price. One of the little tidbits that I've picked up along the way is that you never chase the initial breakouts like this. A lot of the times when things are very boring and we quickly have these moves out of the range, that screams liquidity stop. They're running liquidity on you, and a lot of traders are going to try to chase this move in fear of missing out the upside, and they're going to get clobbered. So even if they are going to eventually break this out, typically what will happen is that on a move like this, they'll reverse it back down, bounce it, and then go up. So the entries are best taken on the retest, which is about right here. However, from a volume perspective, what do I see here? I see this breakout candle, and instantly, when I see a move like this, my eyes go down to the bottom of the charts. And I see there's a tremendous amount of volume, relatively speaking, entering the markets. Now, seeing this volume down here tells me that there is a supply block in this area. The buyers have transacted into an area of supply. The sellers have begun to transact, which results in a volume spike. That's clue number one. That's the first criteria. Okay, now I've got the first C of my 3 criteria. Now what do I need? As per the video that you should have watched already, is a second C, which is a top wick, and a third C, which is continuation, or price action, or lower lows, whichever you want to call it. In this case, obviously, on the 5-minute chart, which is a very short-dated chart, I have the volume. And right away, I am cautious of this move for longing, and I may even be considering a short position. In this case, what happens? Price action completely rejects, tanks, consolidates, and then continues to downtrend for the rest of the session, all driven by the highest volume since the open. Volume highlights where the market wants to pivot. It's a fantastic resource to add to your chart to know when the markets are going to pivot on you. Here's an overnight session on the same name. We have this consolidation that gets clobbered all the way down. High volume selling, has this little bounce, fails back over. Now what happens in this area? We have this another thrust lower, and then we have this massive move lower that results in a very high volume bottom wick. A bottom wick is a buyer's wick that initiates with selling and ends with at least the same amount or even more buying that shows a wick. And we have high volume. So that right there tells you, hey, we have at least hit a level of demand. After a little bit of analysis with the second and third criteria of my system, results in an upward trend to the upside. Here's another example. Price action downtrends for a little bit. We have this large thrust lower, and then an extremely high volume spike that results in a bottom wick, which results in a very strong uptrend. Now, this stuff is easy to identify, okay? I get it. It's simple. A volume spike, you look for a pivot. That's fine. Now, one of the main questions I get is how much volume is a lot of volume? What is considered a high volume inflow for you to identify? It's a great question. The volume I'm looking for is relative to the current environment. If it's just simply a very small amount of volume that's a little bit higher, then I'm not really going to pay attention to that. If it's an outlandishly amount of volume that hits the tape, in this case, this would be ridiculous amount of volume. It's the highest amount of volume we've experienced the entire session. So that is incredibly high volume, and I want to make note of that because a vast majority of the time, amount of volume like that is going to show you the low or high of that particular move, depending on whichever move it is, if it's up or down. In this case, it was going down, so it noted the bottom of the move. I took a long position on this, which ended up being one of the best trades of the week. So what I encourage you to do is go through the charts and simply look for outlier volume, and do not take a trade unless you have that. In fact, if you go back and look on my YouTube channel for the live stream of January 8th, when I signed off in the morning time, I told the members that be patient on silver. Do not take a trade yet because the afternoon is going to give us a fantastic opportunity. All you have to do is wait and watch for an incredibly high volume flow and then execute. And that's exactly what happened. Patience paid because we waited for volume and then the price action climbed. If you can learn to remain patient, which by the way is the number 2 principle of Anna Colling, which is in chapter 4, page 35 of the book, Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis, she dedicates an entire paragraph, an entire principle to patience alone. And I'm going to quote her real quick because I think it's very important. Quote, "The financial market is like a super tanker. It does not stop and turn on a dime. The market always has momentum and will almost always continue beyond the candle or candle pattern, which is signaling a potential reversal or anomaly. When I first started trading, I would always become very excited whenever I saw a trading signal and would enter a position immediately, only to see the market continue on for a little while before the signal was validated and the market actually changed course. In summary, she used to enter too early, which I think is a lot of people's problems. In fact, that is one of my main problems, is that I always tell myself when I'm looking to take a trade, take a couple of breaths, make sure this is where you need to enter, because an early entry could mean the difference between minimal profits or even a loss versus a very strong profit. The market takes time to slow down and reverse the other direction. And if you wait for the incredibly high volume spike, it'll greatly increase the probability that you're getting a high quality entry. Now, one of the final things I want to mention about volume is the validation or an anomaly. When you're watching volume and then you see a very strong wick on price action, for example, we had this big strong trend up. We had a very strong wick after a very quick move higher, and then we just had this very large volume inflow here. So that is a validation. We have volume, very high volume, and then we have a top wick. If we had this top wick here and we did not have the volume to support the theory of a possible rejection here, so if this volume candle was not there, I would be more likely to think that that was simply an absorption of supply, and then the buyers are ready to take it even higher. Maybe after a period of consolidation, kind of goes back and forth and then breaks. But overall, if I don't see a high volume spike in this area, then that tells me that the buyers are now ready to transact even higher because they didn't meet a very large amount of selling where they should have had a rejection. So learning to read volume can kind of tell you what the market tends to do. It's a translation of sorts of how aggressive is the buying, how aggressive is the selling. Also, if you are a retail trader, which most likely you are, if you're listening to this, I myself am as well, that one of the main problems that a trader faces is buying the absolute high of the market or shorting the lows. And that's because we tend to be reactive as retail traders. We're not in the know. We don't have crazy algorithms or quants or all this other stuff that the bigger players have. So you tend to be a little bit more reactive. And that's what drives you shorting the exact low of the day or longing the exact high of the day. If that is something that is a problem for you, then I encourage you to really monitor volume, because if you're watching the green action like this and you feel a little FOMO in your stomach, like, holy crap, I want to be a part of this, let me long. If your eyes start to see volume come in at the highs, then that's a huge warning signal. Do not long that position. At least wait for it to pull back and reaccumulate, and then you can enter a position. But if you monitor the volume, it'll greatly increase the quality of your trades, reduce the quantity of your trades, which is a great thing, and keep you from making those stupid, erroneous, reactionary trades that is so common with the retail trader. Now, you can pick any name you want to do this on. Here's oil. Now, oil has been riddled with very volatile moves the past couple of weeks, given the geopolitical events that we have going on. But here's one that we had a tremendous drawdown from 58.76 all the way down to 57.72, all while volume continued to increase. And then we had this crescendo of price action that culminated right here at 10 o'clock Eastern time. 9 o'clock Eastern time. And we had a bottom wick to accompany that volume, which is a fantastic 2C entry. Now, my third C would require a higher high close, which in this case would come on this candle here. The higher high would be put in right here, and then the price action would pull away. So all that to say is that we have the volume, we have the wick, we have the third C, we have a nice recovery through a beautiful transaction. And if you didn't know this, if you weren't looking for volume, then you wouldn't really know where this would come in at. Where would the bounce happen? Maybe you try to long this bounce, and instead you get wrecked, catch it falling a knife. But instead, I wait for a crescendo of volume, where the volume, it spikes and keeps on spiking until finally we have a strong wick with a very strong buyer's response that leads to momentum reversal to the upside. And before we wrap up the video, I want to leave you with a concept that needs to be ingrained in your retail brain, is that if you're trying to catch bounces or reversals, you want to focus on the right side of the V. So let's say price action is falling. This is a price action falling. A lot of retail traders are desperate to catch the entry at the very bottom. I want to catch the trade on the right side of the V. When the price action's falling and it bounces, I want to be on here for an entry, not here. Because if you try to catch it down here, you're going to catch a falling knife. You're going to get wrecked because the price action is going to blow right through where you think it's going to bounce, and you're going to take heavy losses, especially if you happen to catch it on a particularly bearish day. Or if you're trying to short a very green day, you want to take an entry here, not here. Because catching the right side of the V is going to allow you to determine where the volume comes in at the highs, where is there a nice healthy top wick, and where's the follow through back down. These concepts here with the volume and the right side of the V are going to drastically increase the quality of your trades and decrease the quantity of your trades. Right side of the V accompanied with volume. One of the things that'll help you as well to anticipate a volume spike is tracking levels. Prior session highs and lows, monthly highs and lows, weekly highs and lows, etc., etc. The bigger the time frame that you're approaching, the most likely you are going to have a high volume pivot. This is a beautiful example. On the NASDAQ here, this is a 5-day pivot coming on down to this 25,775 where we had all these pivots. Every single time the NASDAQ tried to fall through, it would bottom wick back up without touching it. In this case, we fell off and started eating all into this liquidity block of the 25,760. As price action transacts down, what happens? We have a volume spike with an accommodating bottom wick, and then up we go. So being aware of prior liquidity blocks will help you identify and anticipate where you could see a volume spike. Now, given that volume is relative, the higher amount of volume that you demand of your setups, the more patient you are for a truly high volume spike, the higher quality trades you're going to get. The more likely you're going to see profit quickly without taking a bit of a beating or a drawdown on the position. And that's up to you. You could refine it where the volume you demand is so high that you're only taking one trade a day or one trade every 3 days. That's okay. Or you may be very lax with it and it allows you setups for 5 trades a day, 6 trades a day. That's up to you. It's of the eyes of the beholder. Me personally, I think less is more. I would rather be a sniper, not a machine gunner. So use this as you see fit, apply it to your system, track the volume inflow, and I promise you it will lead you to a lot more consistent trading without the struggle of guessing when trends are going to stop or pivot. If you have any other questions, please hit me up. optionsmillionaire2020@gmail.com. If you're looking for a high quality prop firm, by the way, I am an affiliate of TakeProfitTrader. In my opinion, the best prop firm in the business. Daily payouts, no hassle withdrawals. Your money is your money, period. Use code OMTPT at checkout for 40% off plus a free funded evaluation. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Be on the lookout for the next videos, the second and third criteria in a series of 3. And of course, to help the channel grow, please hit like and subscribe so you get notifications for all future content and our daily live streams. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Until next time, I'm out. See you.